Hey everybody, Mark Agnesi here in the back room of Norman's Rare Guitars. Welcome back to another episode of Guitar of the Day. Tom Petty tribute yesterday. Sorry I got a little emotional there at the beginning, but it was an emotional day, man. It was like awake in here. People just kept coming in to like mourn Tom's death all day. We were stewing in it. It's still a little bit in denial and shock about the whole thing. Norm's probably going to be back here at the shop tomorrow at some point, I'm sure. He'll have something to say about it as well, being that they were great friends. But I would like to, if I may, share a funny Tom memory with you that happened maybe a couple of years ago. Before we remodeled the store, we used to have the little island in the middle where we used to sit at. This was right when they were about to start recording Hypnotic Eye. Came in looking for a little inspiration. I think we ended up selling them 4 or 5 guitars that day, a couple of chocolate Fender amps, like a chocolate brown deluxe and a Princeton, which are all over that record, by the way, and 2 guitar tones on that record are fantastic. And Bugs was with them. Bugs was kind of his right-hand guy, and they're kind of loading everything out to the car, and we said our goodbyes and everything. And about 3 minutes later, Tom walks back in the store, and I was sitting behind the computer at my desk, and Nick was sitting there with me as well. I had a couple of like Fender bar stools in front of my desk, and Tom just kind of walked up and looked at us and goes, "I'm gonna take a stool sample." And he grabbed one of my custom shop stoolers, turned around, just started walking towards the door. I was like, Tom Petty fucking stealing one of my stools right now? And he got like 5 or 6 steps, and he stopped and he turned back around and went, "Stool sample," and started laughing and walked out the door. And that was it. It was just, he was very proud of himself, and we still laugh about it to this day. One of the funnier memories of Tom. But hey, we are going to continue our tribute to Tom Petty. I got another cool guitar for you today, something that Tom was using a lot on that last 40th anniversary tour that just wrapped up. Would you guys come back and check this out? This one is from 1967, original Fender Electric XII, custom color, candy apple red with the binding on the neck and the block inlays. Oh, and of course, the hockey stick headstock.
Matching headstock.
Matching headstock at that. Mm-hmm. Man, I love these things. This is hands down my favorite of the electric 12 strings. I love me a Rick 12, don't get me wrong. I even like some of the 335 12s. But this one's my favorite. Why? Because this was actually intended to be a 12 string. These kind of came out around 1965. Rickenbacker had already gotten into the game. But the Rickenbackers, man, they kind of just took their 6-string neck and kind of cut it to make it fit 12. So it was always super cramped in the first position. And they also never really came up with a great bridge setup. So you always had the root and octave string on kind of one saddle, which intonation-wise is never great. This was really the first purpose-built electric 12 string where they really intended this guitar to be a 12. They accommodated for that at the nut with a little bit extra width to accommodate the string spacing, and then also 12 individual intonatable saddles. Those two things make a world of difference. So you start seeing these around 65. 65 will be an unbound neck with the simple dot inlays. We've done quite a few of those. Once you get into 66, you start to see this binding added on, but you'll still see dots. By the end of 66, going into 67 is when you first start to see these big mother pearl block inlays, and it will stay like that all the way through I think late 69, 70. They discontinued the model. Couple other cool things. So it's basically an offset body based on like the Jag or Jazzmaster body, but instead of having tremolo and all that stuff, it has a string through body design, which was done to kind of help give this thing a little bit more sustain, make those strings really ring out nice. We already talked about the bridge setup. We have these very cool split coil pickups that they did for this model, and that has a 4-position baritone switch. So the way that works, up here in the top we have just this bridge pickup on its own. Position 2 is going to be both wired in series. Position 3 will be both wired in parallel, and then position 4 will be the bridge pickup back on its own. So you can get 4 unique tones out of this guitar, just a simple master volume and master tone on the switching. Honest to God, my favorite part of the guitar is the headstock. The famed Fender hockey stick headstock, which is just like the raddest thing they ever did. Custom color on this one, candy apple red. We've taught custom colors before. These really only came in sunburst. Anytime you see one in a color other than sunburst, it was either ordered as a custom color or it's been refinished. One of those two things. Candy apple red's one of the more common colors you'll see, but man, really, really clean. Not a lot of checking, just a little bit of honest wear on it. You know, a couple small marks and dings. It did get played, of course, with the matching headstock as well on this one. Case, not original, but fits the guitar very nice. Let's go plug this guy in. Let's continue our week-long tribute to Tom Petty. How can you do Petty without some 12 strings, man? Let's go plug this thing in and do day 2 for Tom here. All right, we're out front. We have the 1967 Fender Electric XII, original custom color candy apple red with the matching headstock binding and blocks. Going through 410 Hot Rod DeVille today. All EQs at noon. It's a little bit of reverb. Let's start up position 1, which will just be that neck pickup all by itself. Moving on, position 2. Now we've got both pickups going. These are going to be wired in series right now. Position 3, again, we have both pickups going. This time we're wired in parallel. So let's go down to the 4th position. Just the bridge pickup on its own. Let's see what we got there. There you have it, from 1967. Original Fender Electric XII, custom color, candy apple red, matching headstock binding on the neck, block inlays. There's day 2 of our tribute to Tom. We're canceling bass day tomorrow again. Carlos, call me. I know you're pissed. Whatever. It's fine. We're canceling bass day for Tom, and we've got some other cool Tom Petty stuff coming for you guys this week. Till tomorrow, follow me on Instagram, at Mark Agnesi. Follow the store at Norman's Rare Guitars. And check this and the rest of these guitars out online at normansrareguitars.com. See you guys tomorrow for another episode of Guitar of the Day. Peace.
Bye. Okay.